Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into the Yoga Vasishtha, looking at the first few chapters of Book 2, really trying to get at the heart of what it takes for spiritual liberation.
And it kicks off by asking this fundamental question. Who is actually ready? Who qualifies as a seeker for this kind of ultimate truth?
Right, and what needs to be understood before you can even begin.
And straight away, the text throws this fascinating curveball at us. We're introduced to two figures, Prince Rama and the sage Shukadeva, who, surprisingly, already seem to know the highest truth. Intuitively, anyway. They've grasped the knowable.
That's the paradox, isn't it? They have this incredible intuitive insight. Rama's mind is described as, what, clear like a mirror.
Exactly. And both of them have this intense detachment, this vairagya, a real distaste for worldly enjoyments, the text says, as if they were diseases.
Wow, so they've figured out that chasing desires just leads to being trapped.
They have, instinctively. They understand that less desire means more freedom. But here's the twist. Despite knowing all this, the source says they were both still, well, unsettled in mind.
Unsettled. So if they had the knowledge, what was missing? Why the doubt?
Well, it seems intuitive knowing isn't quite enough for total peace. They needed that final stamp of certainty.
Okay.
They needed external validation from someone who's already fully realized. A guru, Vasishtha for Rama, King Janaka for Shukadeva.
To sort of quiet those last nagging doubts.
Precisely, to grant the tranquility of their minds. It really highlights how crucial that guru-student relationship is meant to be. It provides the final assurance that turns knowing into being certain.
Okay, let's dig into that first prerequisite then. Vasishtha says this knowledge is only for a good student. What does that actually mean here?
Well, it really boils down to that intense detachment we mentioned, the vairagya. Vasishtha's pretty explicit. The wisdom is for those genuinely disgusted with the world.
Disgusted. That's strong language.
It is. He warns that giving instruction to someone still craving worldly pleasure is useless. Like pouring milk into a dirty container, it just spoils instantly.
So this isn't some intellectual hobby. It requires a fundamental shift before you even start.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The mind needs to be spotless, mirror-like, as you said. If it's clouded by hopes and desires, the reflection of truth gets distorted. You have to see the pointlessness of the chase first.
And Shukadeva's story gives us a really vivid picture of this readiness being put to the test, doesn't it?
It really does. He had the intuition, but he still went seeking that final confirmation.
Right, from King Janaka, because his father Vyasa felt Janaka was the right one to provide it.
Correct. And Janaka doesn't just teach him, he tests him. Brutally, you might say.
It's like a psychological obstacle course. Tell us about that.
Well, Janaka basically sets up this perfect trial of Shukadeva's patience and his immunity to distraction. It's quite methodical. First, Shukadeva is made to wait 7 days at the palace gate, just waiting. Then, he's led into the compound and made to wait another 7 days. Still no audience with the king.
So that's 2 weeks already, just being ignored.
Pretty much. Designed to really stir things up inside, you know?
Yeah.
And then a final 7 days waiting in the inner apartment.
3 weeks of just sitting there. Most people would have stormed off.
Exactly. In our world, we'd be gone in hours. But the text emphasizes he just endured it, stayed completely calm.
But the test wasn't over, was it? Janaka switched tactics.
He did. Right after testing his patience with neglect, he throws the opposite at him. Intense temptation. Lots of food, perfumes, and lusty maidens. The works.
So it's a two-pronged test. Can you handle being ignored, and can you handle being indulged? Are you attached to suffering or pleasure?
Precisely. It's a comprehensive probe of attachment. Could he be knocked off balance by irritation or by luxury?
And the result?
Shukadeva remained totally unmoved. Firm as a rock, the text says, tranquil in his desires. He wasn't swayed by either the annoyance or the allurements. He genuinely overcome that lengthening chain of attractive enjoyments.
So the test wasn't about learning something new. It was proving his state.
Exactly. Proving the detachment was real, functional. And only then, once Shukadeva had demonstrated this rock-solid inner state.
Janaka confirmed what he already knew.
Yes, and that confirmation finally settled his mind completely. The mirror was proven spotless, the desire was gone, he was ready.
Okay, so the seeker's mind is prepared. What's the next crucial piece of understanding Vasishtha imparts?
That takes us right into the deep end, philosophically speaking. It's about the fundamental nature of reality itself, the concept of Maya.
Illusion. It's a common theme, but Vasishtha seems very specific about how the world is illusory.
Extremely specific. He frames it as a kind of cognitive trap. The world isn't out there objectively, it's a mental projection, a vikalpa. an imaginary construct.
That arises from what?
From our own desires and intentions, what the text calls sankalpa.
So the world we experience isn't solid matter, but more like a feedback loop. Our thoughts and desires creating our reality.
That's a good way to put it. It's unreal as a dream or a mirage. He uses that analogy of being on a fast boat and seeing the trees on the bank seem to move.
Right. The movement is relative to you, not inherent in the trees.
Exactly. And the critical takeaway for the seeker is the world is only a creation of our desires. And crucially, it dissolves with the absence of those desires.
Okay, but if it's just a projection, why do we keep getting caught? Why rebirth? Why does it feel so real?
Well, that's down to ignorance and the sheer persistence of those desires. We get caught in this cycle, what the sources call cyclic rebirth, as cognitive entrapment, like being a wave thinking it's separate from the ocean.
And after death.
The soul, clouded by ignorance, forgets the truth and immediately starts rebuilding the world based on its leftover desires and tendencies. The mind's constant flickering is what generates everything. It's the engine of the trap.
Which really draws a line between the ignorant, who are totally caught in the projection,
Believing it's solid, consequential reality.
and the wise, who see through it.
Right. The wise person, the Jivan Mukta, the one liberated while still living, understands the illusory nature. For them, the world isn't this heavy, binding thing anymore.
What is it then?
It's seen more as Brahman's playful expression. Leela, divine play.
Leela, that's key, isn't it? It implies they still interact with the world, but differently, without attachment, without taking it so seriously.
Exactly. They participate, but they aren't personally invested in the outcomes. It's like an actor fully playing a role on stage, but knowing backstage that it's just a play. The perspective shifts entirely.
Okay, this set up the world as illusion brings us right to probably the biggest paradox in this section, which Vasishtha tackles head-on in Chapter 4.
Yes, the question of effort.
Right. If the world is just a mental construct, an illusion, why on earth do we need intense, disciplined effort? Isn't taking action just buying into the illusion, validating it?
It's a fantastic question, and Vasishtha's answer is incredibly practical, almost surprisingly so. He comes down hard in favor of effort, purushartha, human exertion, agency.
He emphasizes this strongly.
Absolutely. He flat out condemns just passively accepting fate, or daiva. He basically says relying on fate is foolish.
And the text is really bold here, isn't it? Something like, everything in this world is obtainable by our efforts being properly employed. That's a huge statement about free will.
It's massive. It completely reframes destiny. Vasishtha argues very clearly that past karma, past destiny, isn't some unbreakable chain.
He says you can overcome it.
Yes. Past karma can be overcome by present actions if pursued with wisdom and determination. He insists that present effort, done right with focus and intelligence, actually outweighs past momentum. It can burn off old karma.
Wow. And to drive the point home, he says even the gods Indra, Brahma, Vishnu achieve their positions through sustained, powerful effort.
That's the claim. Even divinity isn't just handed out. It's earned through purushartha, through merit built by action. Effort is literally the engine of advancement in this cosmology.
Okay, but back to the paradox. If we're trying to get out of the illusion, how does effort within the illusion achieve that? Aren't we just using illusory tools, like trying to wipe away a reflection with a cloth that's also part of the reflection?
Nice analogy.
Yeah.
And Vasishtha addresses this. The solution is subtle. Yes, effort, or sadhana, spiritual practice, is a tool within the illusion, but it's the necessary tool to transcend the illusion.
Oh.
He uses the famous analogy, using a thorn to remove a thorn. You use one part of the system to deal with another part.
Okay, but how does that work? What makes this effort different from the effort that keeps us trapped?
It's the attitude, the intention. That's the crucial difference. You perform actions, you engage in effort, but you do it without ego, without attachment to the results.
So it's not the action itself, but the clinging to the fruits of the action that binds us.
Exactly. By acting with this active detachment, with wisdom, the seeker starts to rewire subconscious tendencies. Those old patterns, the prarabdha karma, the karma that's already in motion, keeping things going, start to dissolve.
So this non-egoic effort breaks the cycle.
That's the idea. It stops reinforcing the illusion. You use intense action to become free from the compulsion to act out of desire. It's kind of skillful means within the dream to wake yourself up.
That makes sense. And it clarifies the distinction between the two types of liberation we see exemplified by Shukadeva and his father, Yasa.
Right. Shukadeva, After getting that final confirmation and doing what needed doing,
Yeah.
eventually went off to Mount Meru
Meditated for thousands of years.
and achieved Vidahamukti, disembodied liberation. He essentially dissolved his individual consciousness back into the source.
Like a lamp running out of oil, the text says.
Yes, extinguished in the Supreme Soul, or
Yeah.
like a drop merging back into the ocean. Complete absorption, no more individual action.
But then you have Vyasa, his father. He remains active in the world, writing scriptures, teaching. That's Jivan Mukti, right? Liberation while living.
Correct. His body and mind continue because of that prarabdha karma, the inertia of past actions still playing out. The car's still rolling, even though the driver's effectively checked out.
So he acts, but without the driver, without ego.
Exactly. He fulfills his duties, monumental ones even, but internally he's completely detached. It's like a child's play to him. He's using effort simply because the momentum is there, not to gain anything for himself.
Okay, so wrapping this up for you, the listener, the big takeaway from this deep dive seems to be quite active, quite empowering.
It really is. Liberation isn't just about passively waiting or only studying texts. It starts with that deep, profound detachment vairagya, seeing through the world's allure.
But seeing through it isn't enough on its own.
No. The path is walked, Vasishtha insists, through disciplined, focused, but non-attached effort, purushartha.
So true knowledge isn't just intuition, it's certainty earned through facing tests, through acting with wisdom. And the most potent knowledge might be realizing you have the agency to shape your own path.
You have the power to actively override what might seem like a fixed destiny.
Which leaves us with a final thought. If Vasishtha is right, if our present focused effort truly has the power to reshape our reality and overcome past conditioning, what one habit, what single point of intense focus, if pursued right now with that kind of discipline Vasishtha describes, could fundamentally change your reality?
The tools, it seems, are already in your hands. It's about how and with what intention you choose to use them.